Should I use demand gen in Google Ads? So you're looking at Google Ads and you see this new campaign type called demand gen. And the obvious question is, should you actually use it? Or would your budget be better spent in search, shopping, or performance max? In this video, I'll explain what demand gen is, where the ads show, how it's different from search, shopping, and PMax, performance max, who it works best for, and how the targeting works, and how to expect on costs, and whether it would work for your business. Hi, I'm Clarice, the ROI Doctor. I help Shopify store owners like you double their revenue with profitable Google Ads. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Want to see how your own ads are performing and if you're attracting the right shoppers to your store? Introducing my free 9-point checklist, the Google Ads Pulse Check. It helps you to diagnose whether your ads are driving the right types of shoppers to your store and whether you should make any improvements to your landing page or your ads. Head on to claricelean.com to download it. The link can also be found directly in the pinned comments and description below. Let's dive into the topic for today. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is demand gen? So demand gen is Google's campaign type for creating demand. In plain English, you're showing ads to people who are not actively looking for your products or services yet. So instead of waiting for someone to type best running shoes size 10, you're showing up earlier while they are browsing content on Google like YouTube or Google Maps. If you have run Facebook or Instagram ads before, then this will feel very familiar because the mindset is the same. You are creating interest while someone is scrolling or watching something else rather than responding to a search. So think of demand gen as Google's version of paid social, but it falls inside Google's ecosystem. And when I say Google's ecosystem, I mean places like YouTube, including YouTube Shorts, Discover, Gmail, and Google Display Network. And the next question we've come to is, how is demand gen different from search, shopping, and performance max campaign? Search is demand capture. People type a phrase into Google, they're actively looking. Your product ads or your service ads show up. So search is usually the most direct response friendly because the intent to make a purchase is very obvious. Shopping is also demand capture, but product first. Someone searches for a product on Google and your shopping listing shows up. If you sell products and your feed is strong, shopping campaign can be a conversion machine. Performance Max campaign PMax is an all-in-one campaign that can show across search, shopping style placements, YouTube, Display, Discover, Gmail, and Maps. And it mixes prospecting and remarketing. But here's the key. You don't control the split. There is no setting that says spend 60% on new people and 40% on retargeting. Google decides in real time, auction by auction, where your budget goes based on what it thinks it will hit your cost per action or return on ad spend target. So if you're expecting a predictable split, PMax can feel like a black box because the budget follows performance signals, not your plan. So the easiest way to think about this is search and shopping catch people who are already looking. Demand gen shows up earlier and creates the interest. And PMax blends everything together, then shifts budgets to whatever it thinks will hit your CPA or ROAS target. So how does demand gen actually work? Instead of keywords, demand gen is driven mostly by three things: your creatives, your audience signals, and your conversion goals. Google tests your ads across those feed-style placements, learn who engages, and then it targets the people who are most likely to take the next step, which could be a click, view, sign up, buy. So the control here isn't to add more keywords. The control is better creatives and cleaner audience signals. Here's what demand gen is actually good at. First, it helps you to reach people before they search. So you can grow beyond the limits of search and shopping campaign and PMax. Second, it's great for warming up cold audiences, people who are not ready to buy yet. So your remarketing and even your search campaigns can convert even better later. And third, if you have strong creatives, it can drive a lot of volume without needing a massive keyword list. So who should actually use demand gen? Should you? First, you need to think about what you're trying to do over here. If you want sales from people who are already looking Right now, that's usually search and shopping campaign, and you could also use PMax. That's where the highest purchase intents are. If you want Google to spread your budget across everything and chase your cost per action or ROAS goal, there is Performance Max. It can scale, but you're not choosing how much goes to new people versus remarketing. Google decides that. Now, here's where demand gen makes the most sense. If search and shopping campaign are not giving you more volume without getting more expensive, and PMax isn't exactly clearly bringing in any more new customers after you have increased your budget, then this is where you go into demand gen and start warming up new people. You find those people earlier, and then they will maybe compare other options, do more research, and then buy from you later. So demand gen is a good fit under these considerations. Search and shopping campaigns are already working, but when you raise any more budgets, you mostly see higher cost per click, cost per action goes up, or you are basically bidding harder in the same auctions. Or it could be PMax is spending, but you can't confidently say it's driving any more new conversions because it mixes prospecting and remarketing, and the split isn't something you can control. Your product needs consideration, meaning people don't buy the first time they see you. They usually click once, then leave, possibly compare you to 2 to 3 other options, or check reviews, shippings, returns, pricing, or specs. Perhaps they ask someone else for an opinion and then come back later through a brand search or a remarketing campaign. In those cases, demand gen works very well because it's built for that first touch. It gets you in front of the right people early, then search, shopping, and PMax will catch the conversion later when the person is actually ready. A quick rule of thumb, if your business regularly sees customers take more than one visit before buying, or you often hear people saying, I've been looking around for a while, that's usually a demand gen friendly situation. But if search, shopping, or PMax campaign performance isn't stable yet, the landing page isn't converting, or the tracking is messy, then demand gen is not for you. It's definitely something that I wouldn't recommend to put your budget in right now. So if demand gen is for you, you want to understand next about how this targeting works. So targeting in demand gen is different from search. In search, you target keywords. In demand gen, you are guiding Google with audience signals, basically clues about who a good customer is. You can start with remarketing, people who have visited your website, view your products, or added to cart but didn't buy. And just to be clear, remarketing isn't a separate campaign here, it's something else you can also run inside demand gen. Then for finding new people who haven't interacted with your brand before, you can guide Google in 2 ways, using custom segments and Google's built-in audience. So how does custom segments work? Custom segments is where you tell Google what your buyer looks like when they're shopping around, basically comparing options. And you can feed Google clues in 2 simple ways: the search queries they type into Google and the websites they visit or the apps they download. So the searches might be things like, for an e-commerce store, stores who sell running gear, the types of search queries could be best running shoes for flat feet, Hoka versus Brooks, or Allbirds reviews. If you're selling a CRM software to other businesses, search queries to targets could be best CRM for small businesses, HubSpot versus Salesforce, or Salesforce alternatives. And just so to be clear, adding website URLs doesn't mean your ad shows on those websites. It's a signal to help Google find people who browse those sites. If your target audience is likely to download a particular app, you can also add it in. Now let's talk about Google's built-in audiences. Google's built-in audiences is where you add more signals to guide Google who to go after. You can target by interest, in-market, the events, or detailed demographics. Interests are basically affinity. It's a long-term interest your ideal customer has. For example, they regularly watch running videos, follow fitness channels, and engage with sports content. In markets, it's different. It's more they're actively shopping right now. Example, they've been comparing running shoes across the brands, looking at prices, reading reviews, and checking retailers this week. Life events are major moments that change what people buy, like moving house, getting married, or having a new baby. And detailed demographics are extra profile filters, things like employment, parental status, and marital status. There is also demographics. For example, age, gender, parental status, and sometimes household income. This is the part where you can use it to narrow the audience types. So if you only sell to adults, or if you want to exclude people of a younger age, this is where you can use these options. And if your offer is women only, you can exclude men. So think of it like this. Custom segments and built-in audiences help Google find the right people, and demographics is where you can tighten it up and prevent obvious mismatches. Now that you know how targeting works, here's what you need to expect. Demand gen usually wouldn't work like search or shopping in the first week because search and shopping catch people when they're ready to buy. Demand gen, on the other hand, shows up much earlier. Most of the value is people clicking, leaving, then coming back later, either through remarketing or through a branded search. And that's when they convert. And that's also why the cost can look different. The search cost per click can get very expensive when everyone is bidding targets the people who want to buy right now. Demand gen isn't buying those keyword searches. It reaches people while they're browsing earlier in the decision, so you're not fighting in the most expensive auctions. It's kind of like this. Search is the front row seats. Everyone wants them, so the price goes up. Demand gen is reaching people who are still in the lobby before they pick their seats. But here's the key. Earlier traffic usually converts later. So cheaper cost per click does not automatically mean cheaper cost per conversion. So don't judge demand gen by click costs. Judge it by whether those people come back a few days later and buy from you. Okay, so how do you judge whether your demand gen campaign is working if you decide to set it up? With search campaigns, you can often judge it quickly because the intent is obvious. You're getting more conversions, more sales. With demand gen, you need to judge it in layers. In the first week or two, you're looking for, are you getting the right type of traffic? Are people actually clicking through and spending time on the site? Are you seeing early buying signals like add to carts, or check out, or fill up a form? Then after that, you're looking for 3 more things. Are people coming back a few days later and converting, either through search or retargeting? Are more people searching your brand name after seeing the ads? And are you seeing more sales where demand gen clearly started the journey, even if it wasn't the last click? Because if demand gen is working, you see more people come back later and convert through search or retargeting. Alright, so if you're going to test demand gen, don't just throw everything into one campaign and hope it will work. I'll run it in 2 simple ways. One campaign for remarketing. People who have already visited, view your products, or have added to cart but didn't buy. That tells you quickly if your creative and ad offer works. And then another campaign for just purely new people using custom segments and built-in audience. That's the one you judge on whether it's bringing in the right traffic that comes back later to convert. And here's the decision rule I would use. If I were you, if the remarketing demand gen campaign performs well, but the new people one is weak, then the issue usually isn't demand gen doesn't work. It's that your prospecting signals or the clues you're giving to Google need more work, or maybe your creatives need more work. But if both the remarketing campaign and the campaign that's targeting the new customer types are both not working, then it's most likely your landing page problem, your offer problem. That's something you need to work to improve on. Now, once you understand that here's how to know if demand gen is actually a good fit for your business. Search is for harvesting demand. People already want it and they're looking. Demand gen is for planting demand, getting in front of the right people so they come back later and buy. So in plain English, if you're in survival mode and you need sales right now, put most of your budgets into search, shopping, and PMax. That's where the quick wins are. But if you're an established business, your product already sells very well, you've got some extra budget and you're trying to grow market share, that's where demand gen will be a smart way to reach new people earlier. It's for you to expand the pool of potential customers who would buy later from you. So if you're going to test it, keep it really simple. Run one demand gen campaign for remarketing and one for new people. But then judge it on whether new people come back a few days later and convert through other campaign types or by coming back directly to your website. And that's the simplest way to think about demand gen. It's not a replacement for search or shopping campaigns or PMax. It's what you add when you're ready to grow beyond what buy now traffic can give you. If you're planning to expand your shopping campaigns internationally and you're not sure if you should add new countries to your campaigns, check out my video, Should I Add New Countries to My Shopping Campaign? Link in the top right hand corner of the screen. If you want to make the most of your shopping budgets before increasing budget, check out my video, How to Make the Most of Your Shopping Budget. Link can also be found in the top right hand corner of the screen. And if you need a fresh pair of eyes to review your account and help you scale your campaigns profitably so you can focus on running your own business, get in touch at clarisine.com. Link can also be found in the description and pinned comment. And if you have any other questions about demand gen, let me know in the comment section below. I could do another video about this. And if you found this video helpful and valuable and enjoyed it, do give the video a like, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on how to double your Shopify store revenue with profitable Google Ads. I'm Clarisine, the ROI Doctor, signing off. Till the next video, stay profitable.